Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic, known classics. This is episode number 24, 18, and Doubleshot number 2312. Here we're discussing we're discussing a Thor Epic Collection and at the Finished Masterworks. Now, next time I talk about this book will be an actual one. I will show off the actual cover, but we're discussing the individual issues in the book. Yep. From volume 19, Thor War, which collect the issues 437 to 450, along with annual 16 17. Tom DeFalco is your writer. Yes, Tom DeFalco is the writer. Yeah, he read this book for a pretty good period of time. These issues cover the period of August 1991, and we conclude with August 19. Well, more like June of 1992. Basically, about years with the comics. Yeah, so very much we have Thor, who's actually Eric Master in this period of time, and of course he's taking out the Enchantress. Well, she has an alias in here of Lorna Monaran. Yes. Yeah, it's basically also guest appearance by Hercules, Quasar, and Circe. Yeah. Yeah. We have first person character who later become a supporting character in the Thunderstrike series, because no longer in this book, he basically is moved over there. Yeah. So pretty much in the way, in the case of this book, first we deal with Thor taking on Quasar, and then we see the return of Thor from the future, begin the Thor War story arc, and that's a 4-part story, because the story issue 438 includes with 441, and we see the return of Zarko, the Man of Tomorrow, who last appeared back in December 1975 in Thor 245. So this is his first appearance in almost 20 years. Yeah, and there's the backup feature of this one. Well, in the case of it starts with Sif and Bold of the Brave, and basically the whole thing with them is that they're looking for the real Thor. Yes, the real one. That's mostly what their deal is. And then we have Thor versus Thor in issue 439. Yep. And Zarkon basically is then we had the first appearance of the Thor Corps in issue 440, which is made up of Eric Masterson, Dargo, and Beta Ray Bill. Basically 3 Thors. Yep, and this concept book get their own spin-off book. Yep, they get this for 2 issues and they get their own spin-off book, and that's it for Thor Corps. Yeah, and we have Loki returning in 441. Then in 442, we have the return of Donald Blake. Yes. Except it's not really him. It's Axe Mephisto in disguise. Yep. Yeah, and then 442, we actually see where Sif reunites with Beta Ray Bill. And then in 443, we find the whole thing with Mephisto being here. We also get appearance by Doctor Strange. Yep. Also, Ron Fritz is the artist. We also have guest appearance by the Silver Surfer. That's interesting. Yep. In 444, who's the shucking foe of all? Well, today's gonna be Gnork. Yeah, it's a Christmas issue. The guy is a parody of the Grinch. So it's like, oh, let's have Thor take out the Grinch. We have Cindy Lou and Max. Yes, we have a version of Cindy Lou who, her dog Max, who is an obvious reference to the Grinch. This is the cover date being February, was average released in December of 1991. Skipping over 445 and 446. Why? Because the crossovers with the part of the Operation Gothic Storm storyline. Yep, and then we have more 447. We have with Spider-Man guest here with Black Knight Captain America. They take on Titania, the Absorbent, and the final appearance of Ulrich. He's a rock warrior. His last appearance was back in, well, the previous issue. Yep. Then 448 basically continue to have guest appearances by Spider-Man and Cold Blue to deal with, of course, well. And we still continue the storyline of, well, Boulder, and of course, then we deal with Ego Living Planet in that backup story arc. Yeah. Ego, the Living Planet. And then we have Odin return. Where's Thor? You banished him. That was imposter. Yes, they realized that was imposter who did that. Yep. And then 450 for Thor, the Gods versus War. Yep, dealing with Fisto, and of course, basically, like, Super Ego. Yep. Yeah, we kind of wrap up that story. We have a woman named Jackie Locust who becomes Blood Axe. Well, the whole thing with her is that she's the girlfriend of Eric Masterson, who pretty much becomes the main villain of the Thunderstrike book. Yep. And what about the annuals, you might ask? Because we do have 16 and 17. 16 is part of the Korvac Quest storyline, which features Thor, the future Thor, teaming up with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Really cool idea. Love the idea of that. Mm-hmm. And we have a story for Skyhawk and Wind Warrior. I think this issue would have been perfect for a Guardians of the Galaxy trade. And then we have Annual 17, where it's Citizen Kang, and they have Thor running to Prester John, which of course Eric Masterson knows who he is. And he mentioned about Evil Eye stuff, that he fought the Medieval Defenders, and Prester John's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, seriously, he has no idea what the heck is going on. Yep. Really cool about Prester John here. And he's still much alive, don't worry about that. And before this issue, this annual, his last appearance was back in Marvel Fanfare 54. That was released in 1990. This Annual 17 was released just 2 years later. So it's been a couple years. And the thing is, Prester John, that was only his 5th appearance in comics. Yeah. And then, of course, became a recurring character Cable in Deadpool. His last appearance being X-Men Second Coming number 2. But love these issues. I give this Epic Collection a 10 out of 10. Next up we have is The Defenders. Marvel Master Defenders Volume 3, which collects issues 17 to 21, along with Giant Suspenders 2 through 4, and Marvel 2 6 through 7. The writer for the issues are Lane Wee, who does issues 16 and 17, and Giant Size 2 and 3. Steve Gerber does 20 and 21, the co-writer for issue 3, and does issue 4 for this book. Issue 6 and 7. Okay. Issue 6 and 7 basically is Marvel 2-1 issues. Chris Carmichael does issue 19. Tim Soroco does the issue, number 3. Sal Bushman issue art is for pretty much all these issues in the book and the Marvel 2-1 issue. Giants number 2, the artwork is done by Gail Kane. Issue 3, Giants is 3, is done by Jim Starlin, Dan Atkins, Don Newton, and Jim Mooney. Don Heck does Giants number 4, and the artwork for issue Marvel 2-1 number 6 is George Costa. The book covers issues. Covers the time period of November of 1974 and concludes in March of 1975. The first thing he published here is Giants number 2. This feels like a better Giants book. Yeah, and pretty much just basically Defenders team with Son of Satan for this Giants book. But then we have the historical 17, where we have guest appearance by Power Man. But this book is historic for one reason and one reason only. Do you want to know why? Well, we also have it where Hulk quits the team, and of course we have the first one as the Writing Academy. Val gets a good outfit here. And by the way, Luke Cage is hired to protect this one building. But the main villains of this issue is none other than the longtime Thor villains, the Wrecking Crew. Yes, the Wrecking Crew make their debut appearance in this very comic book. And then during issue 18, they have a brawl with them. Yes, which is so awesome. Yeah, now we get History Makers here with basically the first appearance of the Wrecking Crew. And then the story concludes issue 19. Yeah, really fun 3 issues. And then we have the Marvel 2 issue. We have Doctor Strange team up with the Thing. My guess is the reason why they included it because Steve Gerber wrote it, and plus they kind of loosely fill some gaps between issues. Yeah, just a team up book. That's mostly what it is just team up with just a quick story here. Marvel 2 was going to be a good title. Don't worry about that. Also, we deal with Giant Rat, and then basically issue 7, Thor, the Thing teams with Valkyrie take on Scourge the Executioner. You're thinking, wow, this stuff sounds awesome. And it is. And of course, this issue was noteworthy for having the first appearance of Valkyrie's father, who dies. Yeah. And then we have it where this story continues in Defenders, number 20. Where the Thing helps out Defenders while they're basically near death. So kind of in a way, Marvel 216 took place between issues 19 and 20. And this is basically a continuation of that. And then we have Hulk going insane thanks to something in issue 21. And what about issue... this also has the first appearance of the Headmen. Well, a few of them anyways. Yeah, their appearance here sets up basically a later story arc. Yeah, then Giants and Defenders number 3. We have guest appearance by Daredevil while taking on the Grand Master. Yeah. I'm like, that's awesome. In issue 4, we have a rematch with the Squadron Sinister. Yep. That's what happens in Giant Size Defenders number 4. Yeah, really fun book. Love it. Yep. And then the next book basically is team up with the Guardians of the Galaxy, well, the feature version anyways. Yep. And then we have the first appearances of a few characters. Gorilla Man from Mystery Tales number 21, which was released in September 1954. Dr. Gerald Morgan from Weird Fantasy number 11. And Cindy the Mystic from Tales of Suspense number 9. By the way, Paul S. Newman did the Gorilla Man issue. This is, of course, the original, not the one for... this is not related to one from Age of Atlas. Cindy the Mystic is done by Stanley and Larry Lieber. Artwork is done by Doug Whitley. The Dr. Gerald Morgan story, there's no credit for writer, but the artist, Angelo Torres. My guess is the reason why I threw these books in here, because why not? In case people are curious, but yeah, we got set for the Headmen here. When next thing I want to talk about Volume 4, but yeah, great books. Love them. I give basically Defenders, Marvel Defenders Volume 3, a 10 out of 10. Okay, so that's the particular review. I got a stream to do next, and basically I'll see you all later. Okay, next video. Bye.